Hello. Hi. You can't say how are you humans. You got a name called Kyle Edwards. It's not particularly alien-y name, is it? Kyle. I don't know what that emote is, Wiggles. I can't tell if it's like a bat or a dog with ears or like a spaceship. Jawa or something. Let's bring that up on the screen. Who won the Pioneer? Let's get to my Reddit. Thanks, Pedro. You're the best. Bam. Bam. Where's me? Where am I? What? Why's camera now activate? Deactivate. Activate. Deactivate. Activate? Why no camera? Perplexing. If I add the camera again, will that work? Let's see. It says the camera's running. Deactivate. Activate? Nope. It was running a second ago. Maybe I have to transform, fit the screen. Nope. Nope. Now let's add a new source. This is technical problems. Yeah. Yeah. Activate. Right. Good job. Why no camera? Sorry guys, you have to bear with me. Oh my god, I've got so many cameras now set up here. Oh god. Remove. I do not know what's happened here. Video capture. Activate. Nope. Let's remove that one. I don't know why there's no camera. There should be a camera. The camera says it's on. I can edit the camera settings. I can't use Jedi powers. I want my face. Configure video. That works. Activate. Deactivate. No. So the camera's being used by something. Oh. Oh. Camera's being used by something, but I don't know what it is. Could it be a website? Let's close that website. This is annoying. Well, I'm going to stop the stream and then bring it back. BRB. Right. That's bad. Let's fucking drag myself down here. Let's add some filters. Chroma key. Bam. Chroma key 430. Bam. Done. Let's do the same for desktop actually. Gotta add a new device. Gotta go video. Gotta go add to this existing one and then drag. Bam. We fucking go. Don't know what happened there. We had some technical difficulties. It's like a proper Star Citizen stream, isn't it? Technical difficulties. Let me just drop the audio down. Right. So, Star Citizen. Hello. How's it going? Sorry about that. So for those of you that are waiting for PTU access, expect further waves to go out this week. So this week by Friday and next week and stuff. There's going to be a concerted push for Christmas to try and get it into everyone's hands, or for a live build, though it's more likely it's going to be into everyone's hands. It's hard to tell how much of the game they're fixing. Of like 3.0, there is a few bits and bobs that needs to be done for 3.0, including stuff like some of the missions aren't fully fleshed out. Thank you very much, Jack Avalon.
Still getting error 30,007 in PTU, but one day I will find you in the verse.
So, and that's another one. So there is this error 30,007, which is, let me actually bring it up on screen. That's another thing that's a major issue. Basically, just can't connect to servers a lot of the time. Now, I had this on earlier patches, and one of the patches I was only able to play, I was only able to get like 2 hours of content, and then I couldn't rejoin. I got this error 30,007. Didn't seem to have it with this one, but everyone's now reporting, well, a lot of people I know are now reporting that for the current AE patch, that they are unable to join, though the other day I was able to join. So I might check that out in a bit. But yeah, so server stability, performance, getting as many people in as possible, that's all super important for the current PTU phase before a live phase. And they want server stability where they don't have to constantly restart servers and the servers don't crash and the clients don't crash. They want to get as many people as they can in the servers, at least 50 it looks like now, up to 128 quite possibly for a live build, which would be awesome. They want at least 30 frames per second, it seems, for everyone, and then obviously they'll try and improve on that. The server tick rate's 30, so that's what they're kind of going for and aiming at. Yeah, the CPU spikes are another killer. So with the latest AE patch, I wasn't having that many problems with it. But one of the problems I was having, which was the most annoying of all the problems I actually faced with the patches, was spikes in frame rates going down to 0, and then basically nothing happening for 3 or 4 seconds. Which is just like, and I'm running at 30 frames per second in Covilex, and 0 frames for 4 seconds. It's like, have I crashed? Nope, just a big pause. I'm not sure why that was happening, and it stopped happening after a while, but it was a very good like first half an hour of my gameplay, and a lot of people are getting it for longer than that. So, not the best patch they've done, but that's the sort of thing they do. They jostle stuff around. They have a working internal QA build, which will work really well, but then when they deploy it on the multiplayer servers, and when there's lots of people testing it, that's when you have those problems. So, yeah, expect significant improvements with the next patch. That's the hope anyway, but it will go up and down as they continue to flesh out content for 3.0, because a lot of content is not in 3.0 PTU yet. So stuff like, so this is the latest schedule reports. The monthly report and schedule report and all that sort of jazz are out, so we'll talk about that in a minute. And then we will go into answering questions in a second. But I want to talk about some of the news and things first. So there's lots of stuff with... actually, cargo and shopping is getting a lot more fleshed out. That's almost done now. Missions need some more work, so that's Mars at Cart, Ruto, and actually adding the last mission, actually. I think they've done all but one mission now. But there's some problems with some of the missions. And there are issues with completion of some of the missions where occasionally NPCs don't spawn, boxes don't spawn, boxes go invisible, so some missions become incompletable. They've been doing this concerted push at trying to get missions. So I've had a migraine all weekend and I can't speak properly, so I will occasionally get words wrong and go blah, blah, blah. And stutter and stuff, so apologies for that. But they're trying to get a balance for progression with amount of Alpha UEC that you get for missions as rewards and what you can buy and how much that stuff costs and everything. They're trying to balance that at the moment. And there are surveys that you can actually participate in if you've got access to the PTU. One for missions and one for regression bug testing. So there's some bugs with EMPs and stuff like that. They want to see if they've gone entirely. And that's the sort of stuff that you test with PTUs and Evocati stuff. They will specifically go, test this, test this, test this. So there's some polish going on with the item 2.0 stuff as well. When that's all in, that's going to be great. So traversal and netcode stuff. So they keep on trying to improve quantum travel and the Moby-Glass star map stuff. So now, mostly, when you take a mission, you'll see a waypoint to it in most circumstances now that will appear on the Moby-Glass star map as well as on your HUD, which makes it a lot easier to find where you're going, and then you can actually travel to those quantum those points. Sometimes you have to go to a moon that's nearby first, or to a station that's nearby first, before then going to the final area, so just bear that in mind. But the other thing that they're doing and improving is they are trying to get lots of network improvements in 3.0 now, as a concerted push to get as many people on the servers and to get as much optimization as possible. This does seem to include bind culling and net serialized conversion and lots of stuff. So I expect for a 3.0 live build a lot more network performance than we were actually expecting. And that should mean we don't have the same sort of issues we had with 2.6.3. There's still a little bit of work that needs to be done with the Moby-Glass. There's some of the apps just aren't working, like you can't customize your ships properly yet. We don't have any form of character customization other than armor and clothing, but we won't actually customize our faces. That's not in yet. And general performance and stability, they're going to keep on trying to make it more stable and performance-y. But they're trying to make CPUs more... use more of their threads and stuff as well, so more multi-thread and multi-core. Even on the lower end systems, you're going to see significant improvements with some of the stability stuff and performance stuff they're putting in. What else do we got? What else do we want to talk about? Oh yeah, so discount starters. Discount starters, are they on sale until the 4th or until the 11th? Probably the 4th, isn't it? So if you want to get a discount starter ship, they're actually $35. It's just that I have to pay VAT. Obviously, some regional taxes apply. VAT is 20%. There's a motorbike outside my house. Apologies if you can hear that blasting past. It's still not... oh no, it's getting further away. It's fine. It's getting close. I don't know. I recommend if you do get one of these starter packages that you go for the Mustang at the moment. It's the recommended one from me anyway, because it's faster than the Aurora. It's got cargo box. That comes as standard. It doesn't have missiles, but I mean, I just really like the Mustang. So buy one. Also, if you've got a starter pack that doesn't have Squadron 42, like all of the later ones, you might only have 6 months insurance. So it might be worth getting rid of your starter package and then getting this one that has 60 months insurance rather than 6. Just a thought. Just a thought there. But I will chuck that down there. Also good for Christmas presents if you want to, like, you know, abuse your friends with Star Citizen. That's the patch notes for patch AE, which is the latest PTU patch. I'm trying to think if there's anything major in here. Oh yeah, beds. So they are trying to put the bed persistence in. So this will be when you log out, if you don't want to respawn back at Port Olisar or what have you, you go into a bed in your ship, and you log out there through the inner thought menu. So you get into a bed, F, get in, and then hold F again, log out. And that will, when you log back in, log you back in where your ship was and where you were at, get you out of your bed. Now, in the AE patch, it sort of works, but it only works if you connect to the server that you were just in. So it's not a long-term log-out thing. It's a, look, this sort of works kind of thing. It's a showing that it works. But it doesn't work properly because they need to get it in so that when you log in, it doesn't matter what server instance you join, it will respawn you there. Or it always takes you back to that same server instance, which is another one they could do. But it's sort of working. There's lots of work left to do with that. Was there anything else major in that patch? Oh yeah, shop items are now back in the previous patch. All items in shops had disappeared. If you hear that whining, it's not someone tied up in my basement. It's actually the pipes. Honestly. You just hear that occasionally in my house. And oh, there's the show location command as well. Now when you type in /show location, it will actually give you coordinates of where you are, which is going to be very good for sharing coordinates with other people if you're smart and can work out where they are, but also great for bugs. You can go, I was at these coordinates, this is where this issue is. So yeah, that's patch AE. Pew! Anything else I want to talk about? Yes, of course there fucking is. Why is the redacted forums exploding? Oh. I think our new website might be going up in a minute, which will be nice. So, there was a couple of concept ships during the sales, which are still available until the 11th. There's the Hawk, which is the small little light fighter with a little cargo pod in the back for a person to be stored in, because it's a bounty hunter ship. And it's cool. It's got 6 size 1 weapons, and 2 of those can be upgraded to size 2. It's got a little window on the bottom of the ship so you can follow targets that are underneath you. I want to know more about ship weapons that will incapacitate people rather than kill them as a bounty hunter, although I suppose some bounties are going to be dead or alive. I suspect you will get more money in most situations from bringing the person back alive, though. And the Hawk was pretty cool. It's got EMP weapons and some lethal weapons as well. That's the cargo pod in the back for strapping someone in, which is pretty cool. Very Blade Runner. It's one of the major inspirations that they use for stuff like this. What else do we have? We had probably one of my favourite combat ships. Actually, it is my favourite combat ship. What? Go back. Go back. Not the land claims. Fuck you, land claims. The Hammerhead as well. So the Hammerhead is basically a gun turret, almost corvette. It's very similar to the Polaris, but it uses gun turrets rather than torpedoes. It's anti-fighter, it's a screening ship, it's what I'd want from a gunship or corvette. I very much love the idea. Is this the whole thing, or is this just the... Bring this up.
Everyone enjoys stories about daring naval pilots flying for our freedom and battle-hardened captains leading the charge. But for every Cal Mason and Admiral Bishop out there blowing things up, there are dozens of unsung heroes who are just as worthy of our praise and admiration. And today, here at Conrad Naval Station, Galactic Tour is going to...
So one of the things here is that, if you remember last year's Galactic Tour stuff that I did, his face didn't look as good as this. This is... I doubt they've spent that much time on it, but this is significantly better. This is magnitudes better.
An unsung song. Meet Gunner's mate, Alfonso Lang. A master craftsman in his own right, Starman Lang is in charge of lovingly caring for the deadly armament.
So it's got 24 of these size 4 weapons, 6 of those turrets.
Well, every day they're not getting shot at.
And it's just like, oh, that's really fucking cool. This is a super anti-bomber, anti-torpedo, anti-missile, anti-fighter ship that I think you'll be able to run it relatively cheaply for its size and everything, and take out pirates and vandals, as long as they don't have a capital ship, really fucking easily.
Checked, rechecked, and meticulously maintained. Basically, all the worst parts of operating really big and powerful guns. It's like if you wanted an elephant for a pet.
Mustang
Fox
Beta
would
has
be
a
the
bed.
guy go, yeah, that's great, but what the hell are you going to feed it?
KMS,
With the
I will
aid of
check your question out in a
advanced
second.
diagnostic tools, each of the turrets must be correctly calibrated, so that when the gunners fire at a swift-moving target, say a squad of fighters or an incoming torpedo, they actually shoot it down instead of the gun jamming and blowing up in their face. If the Aegis Hammerhead is a sleek shark patrolling the dangerous waters, then Alfonso is the remora stuck to its armoured belly, making sure this dangerous predator stays that way. And I, for one, am damn glad to know he's there. Starman Lang, we here at Galactic Tour salute you.
I didn't realise its little thrusters folded back like that. Now that is probably...
If you've ever wondered what it's like to be a human torpedo, well, my friend, wonder no more.
I'm very much looking forward to the Hammerhead. KW0311, thank you very much for the donation, sir. Good day, sir. Thanks for all the videos during the past week. I picked up my Polaris and Carrack. Your videos have motivated me about testing and being part of this PTU. It's been a fun experience so far. PTU, very buggy. Thank you very much, KMS, by the way. I love your fucking face. Very buggy. It's part of what you do with Star Citizen. If you enjoy the project, you want to be part of it. It is very testy, buggy, give feedbacky. And then, no, I don't like this mechanic, or I like this mechanic, I want you to evolve this further, and then getting involved with the community. And I love the project for that, and if you're not up for that, then wait a while until Star Citizen's significantly more fleshed out, or maybe pick up Squadron 42, which will almost certainly be coming out next year, but we will find out lots and lots and lots about Squadron 42, probably about the Vandal, and various other ships that we didn't know much about in the holiday live stream in December at some point. I expect it within... It's probably going to be a couple of weeks. In a couple of weeks.
I will sub until you get my name right. Kappa.
Kaput Matcha. Kaput Matcha? Kapapata. I don't know how to say names. Why do you have to have weird names on the internet? Why can't you just be called Brian? Or there was that guy Kyle that said it was an alien. Can't you be called Kyle? Fuck, man. Do you know when the winner of the Hawk get a mail disc? No, we don't. There was a thingamajig, wasn't there? Oh, we'll talk about the Drake ship as well, actually, in a second. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the main sales page, aren't I? Let's bring it up here. Here we go. So here's a little test. Fuck. And you've got to try and guess all the ships as quick as you can. Fuck, claim it. I'm really bad with this because I'm dyslexic and my brain can't read very fast. So there's a test there, and you don't have to actually be a backer or anything. You just have to have a Star Citizen account, and you can take that test, and if you get them all right, then you have a chance to win one of the 7 Anvil Hawks. We also get a little badge. It's probably a forum badge as well. You can show this off to your mum or your dad and just go, look, I got a golden badge! And they put it on the fridge, and you'll be really happy, and you'll be the talk of the town. Like I am currently for having my golden badge. So be like BoredGamer and do that. Here's a link to that test. But you can have 1 entry per account, so if you've got multiple accounts, you could keep on entering, although I think you'd be a dick if you just made loads of extra accounts to do it. But you know, there's 20% off their merch as well, and currently all the ships that were on sale during the Saily sale, the anniversary sale, are on sale until the 4th of December. So enjoy. If you want to get a ship, there's probably quite a few I actually need to get today or tomorrow. Get a ship upgrades. And you should have pretty much most ships they've ever made here at the moment. yeah, you've got Genesis Starliners and everything. This is all the ships that will on sale. Other than the super limited ones, so I don't think there's any more Pioneers available. And I don't think there's no capital ships available other than the Polaris. And, well, actually, I say that, but the some of these ships have got pretty big now. Including the Orion, which is doubled in size to around 370 to 400 meters, which is pretty big. The Javelin, well, let's have a look, actually. So, let's have a look at a cleaner one. So, the Orion is now this size, and the Hull-E is pretty much the same size as it, and then you've got the Javelin, which is 70 meters longer. So, it's, that Orion's got fucking huge now. And it's only $320 still. I say only $320. People that have large amounts of store credit and stuff, I would suggest, if you've got nothing else to spend your store credit on, purchasing possibly Caterpillars to Orion upgrades. Because they're, what, like $30? Because the Caterpillar's worth $295. They're $30. And the upgrade from a Caterpillar to an Orion is pretty substantial. And I suspect these will go up in price quite significantly. But that's just me. If people want that, want these bad boys, this one actually shows where all the ships are in production as well. As you can see, the red ones are in production, blue ones are actually flight ready, green ones are oddly a hangar ready. There's only, well, it's odd the Mustang's getting a rework, but the Redeemer's pretty much the only real ship that's in hangar ready, but needs a rework again, like a major rework. Oh, that My Radar app as well. People have been asking me for My Radar. We will answer questions in a second. I'll show this as well. We'll show these pictures because they're cool. They show up this was to show the Orion's new size because it's like quite a bit bigger than the Idris now. But I think it's pretty cool. And that's what you wanted from a big strip miner. One of the reasons it's grown so much in size, and a lot of the earlier ships grew in size, is because that CIG and Foundry 42 would make the externals of the ship before fully fleshing out the internals. So now their process is to flesh out the internal needs, so they actually get the correct size of what the externals will be. And so previously we went, oh, we haven't got enough room for corridors and these extra rooms and spaces between the rooms. Oh, and I can't say his name. Narayanya. No, I'll link him. I'll link him in some of my videos. He is a really great editor and is making some beautiful Star Citizen trailers and videos. And one of the ones he did, he was comparing 3.0 to 2.6.3 with all of these beautiful look at the changes kind of thing. I really liked this. It's the asteroids and the look of space. Space isn't just black anymore. It's got such a good look to it now. Yeah, and all those planets and everything are visible. What else we got? Last thing I want to talk about before we answer questions is the Drake stuff. So on Friday they had a game dev happy hour thing where they were talking about what next Drake ship should we put onto concept. And after whittling it down from some other choices, they basically said there's 3 choices. You can have an entry-level salvage ship. It's not a starter ship, it's an entry-level salvage ship. So the first tier of salvage called the Vulture, which would be a one-man salvage ship. There's a multi-crew explorer called the Corsair, which is basically Drake's answer to the Constellation. And there's also a Drake scout carrier called the Kraken, which has the best name of any ship ever. And that would be a capital-sized kind of ship carrier ship. More for ship carrying and having as a HQ than as any form of combat ship itself. Now, this has kind of split the community. No, fuck the Corsair, because we've already got ships like that. But a lot of people want the Drake Scout Carrier. A lot of people want the entry-level salvage ship. I actually want both. These are both super important. I'm hoping they will give us both. That would be my hope. But go there and vote. Vote for what you want. I will not try and influence your vote. Hashtag vote cracker. No, vote for what you want. It's very, very important for that. I was thinking, shall I try and influence people into voting what I want? I was like, I probably won't have that much of an impact anyway, and then I'll just look like a dick. But yeah, vote for what you want there, but not the Corsair. I'll link that again, just in case. That's the disconnect codes. Oh, the monthly report came out as well, and this was a little tiny bit of Squadron 42 information, but mainly sort of like, we're working on this, but we can't tell you any more. We haven't had a monthly report for ages, which was actually great to see. Yeah, I think they'll eventually give us both. But there's a lot of work gone in beyond 3.0 as well. They talk about lots of Squadron 42 stuff. They are working on another vehicle and another concept ship at the moment, which potentially could be out before the end of the year. We are expecting a Tumbrel vehicle to go on concept before the end of the year, definitely, but they are working on a ship too, which I actually don't know what that ship is at all, which is odd, because normally I hear rumours, or I've heard something in a studio tour, which makes me think I kind of at least possibly know what it is. What else do we have? Is there anything super cool on that? I've done loads of work on subsumption. Oh, the new website redesign. So, with 3.0's release, we are getting new website design. This is like downloading wallpapers on our website, so a lot more easier to navigate and to use. With a tutorial on it, it looks like as well. Also, with that, we are getting a new roadmap for Star Citizen beyond 3.0. I'm hoping they're going to flesh out to near completion. That would be really good, and it's going to be a lot better. Oh, wow. Fire out. Thank you very much for the donation. Jesus, man. You didn't even put a message there. Let's assume what your message would be. BoredGamer, you beautiful bored egg. Thanks for the content. I love your face. Marry me. I will marry you. Fire out. It's $50, and I'll marry anyone. Thank you very much for the donation. Much appreciated. The thingamajigamabob, though, the website, really, really fucking important to get this updated, because the website they have currently is shit and confusing. And that's being generous. But I'm really looking forward to the new roadmap, because they said it's not going to be just text-based, it's going to be fun and good and cool. As well as Squadron 42's roadmap is going to be shared with us. So that's all coming with 3.0's completion. 3.0 go to a live build, new website, new roadmap for beyond 3.0, hopefully up to Star Citizen's completion, but at least for like the next year. And Squadron 42, in the holiday live stream, is going to have the completion roadmap for Squadron 42 given to us at that time as well, which is really exciting, because that probably means it's relatively close. I say relatively close, probably like 6 months. But thank you very much, Summer TV. Fucking love the host. Appreciate. But yes, important things that they need to get done, which they've, you know, I thought Squadron 42 was coming out at the beginning of this year, sort of thing. So it was egg on my face, or egg is my face. But yes, questions. Oh, actually, another thing. So Virpil are making cooler new joysticks called the Constellation series, Constellation Delta. Now, let's actually go back a page before we look at that. They made these, and they look really cool. I really love the idea of these sticks. They're quite cool looking, and they always make very good products, Virpil. But they got some feedback after releasing these pictures, where people wanted the stick to look a little more sleek, and wanted a secondary fire button, and they went, okay. And then a couple of weeks later, they added it. They just went bam, or a week later, they just went, yeah, secondary fire button now on the stick, and we'll colour the red stuff black to make it a bit more sleek. And I just love the fact that they responded so quickly with that. I should be getting one of these to test. I really like the way they look, and I think they're pretty two-handed, you know what I mean? Ambidextrous. So we'll be checking those out at some point. Right, questions. Kabam. So, if you want to ask a question about anything, and whether it's 3.0, whether it's anything of my Star Citizen knowledge about secrets deep within my brain, or the PTU, question in brackets, and then just ask away, mate. Question: 890 jump, Terrapin, or Banning Merchantman, Reclaimer, Orion. I see. 890 jump in Terrapin, or Banning Merchantman, Reclaimer, and Orion. Banning Merchantman, Reclaimer, and Orion. That's significantly more function you're going to get out of them. The 890 jump is going to be super party boat, but I suspect you'll get a load more money in gameplay out of the Banning Merchantman, Reclaimer, and Orion. I backed RSI way back and played 2.6.3 and still didn't get the email for 3.0's access. When can I expect it? So PTU access comes out in waves. There's Evocati, which are the super chosen people, and then there's First Wave, which is people that were very, very active on the issue council and reporting bugs and have been very active in previous PTUs. And then the second wave was subscribers and concierge. So if you're none of that, then it will be between wave 3 and 5. 5 is for everyone, and wave 3 and 4 are for the less active but still relatively active people on the issue council. So if you've been active on the issue council previously, you will get it in the next wave. You might get it next week. If you've never used the issue council, then it's going to be closer to wave 5, which will probably be just before Christmas. That's my expectation anyway. What do you think the Cutlass Black's price increase will be? Probably $25 for when it goes live with 3.0. That'll be my expectation. So $125 for that Cutlass Black. And I think the Gladius is going to be the same price. I suspect it to remain at 90. All they did, potentially it could go up by $10 or something, but I think what they did with the Gladius was try to make it more competitive with the other fighters, which they kind of have by giving it those extra hardpoint sizes. Thoughts on aliens? They are alien. We'll see a lot more of the Vandal, possibly actually see mobile walking Vandal fighting in the holiday live stream. That's what I'm expecting, or hoping for anyway. I think aliens are going to be cool. We just haven't seen much of them. We've seen a sandworm, which was very scripted. We've seen the Oni crabs on Hurston, I want to say. But they may have been entirely scripted as well. But there's going to be quite unique, high-quality flora and fauna in the game. It's not No Man's Sky. Am I able to join the PTU at some point, and if so, how? If you don't have access already, you don't have an email, or you've checked your hangar on the RSA website, and it doesn't say you've got PTU access, then if you want to get it now, if you become a subscriber to RSI, you can get it straight away, I believe. Or you can just wait. I mean, you'll get it within the next couple of weeks, almost certainly. Tried to log in this morning, and I keep getting error 30,007. Yes, lots of people are getting that error. That is the most common error at the moment. A lot of people are getting this error, and they can't log in at all. You can try and log into other servers and stuff, but lots of people are just not getting in at all. I mean, Twerk literally went, I'm not playing this, I'm playing PUBG, because I can't get on. It's an issue that they occasionally have. It's PTU, they're testing out new servers and stuff. Expect it fixed within a few hours, maybe. Well, actually, I say that's a Sunday, isn't it? Expect it fixed on Monday. If there was a picture of a Banning Merchantman in the ship comparison, it looked a bit scrawny. Or is that not official? I mean, it's not 100% official. This stuff can change in size. So that's the Genesis. That's the Banning Merchantman. So it is like... It's Orion-sized? It's multiple levels, though. It's quite tall. I think it's cool. I think it's good for all it is, especially like lots of shops and stuff inside it. It's pretty fucking big. It's pretty big. I'm like, oh, this ship's not as big as Javelin. Oh, this ship's not as big as the new Orion. That's how I talk. Just in case you didn't know. What else have we got? Before the end of the sale, I wanted to get a good solo fighter. What would you recommend? Good solo fighter, depending on what sort of fighting you want to do. Either a Super Hornet, a Sabre, or a potentially a Vanguard once they've been rebalanced. Once they have the flight mechanics rebalanced. It depends what sort of fighting you want to do. Where do I get the more than a black screen trying to get into the game? Actually, That black screen is probably at loading, and it can take a long time to load if you're not on an SSD. I occasionally, well actually I still have relatively long loading times even on my Optane drive in the current patch. It's sale time! Can you show us how to gift a package? You just click on, go into your hangar, and then click on gift. Done. Yakarus117, thank you very much for the love. Thanks for the sub, bro. I should be like do a sub drive or something at some point, or like super gold driven things for, you know. I keep on using my mouse to signify things that you can't see on my screen. But, is it a good idea to buy a Hull A? I already have an Aurora LN. In my opinion, I would not really go for the Hull A. I think the Hull A is... Look at that Z fighting there. Background flickering. I would stray away from the Hull A, mainly because it's not that big. I'd consider going straight to like an Avenger. Upgrading your Aurora LN to an Avenger, maybe? That'd be my advice. You mentioned that you made guides for increased performance. Have they been posted? Yes. Assuming that's still up and Twerk hasn't transferred it to the new website. Yes, it's still up. And that will link you to Windows 10 guide as well. Cool. Oh. Now, I'm a little bit worried because the users.cfg guide seems to have disappeared. So, hopefully... Oh no, it's here. It's here. It's here. Will there be realms as with WoW? So the idea and what they want to do at the moment is have server meshing, so everyone is on the same server. That's why they're trying to increase server capacities now, and then work on that server meshing tech.
I want to see those finger guns.
Why do you want to see finger guns? Okay, have some fucking finger guns. If you want to donate money to fucking see finger guns, you can tell me. You can donate money to tell me to fuck off. You can donate money to, I don't know, I'll pick my nose, I'll do fucking whatever, or rub my shiny head. That's not a euphemism. Although for enough money. No. Thank you very much for the donation, very much appreciated. So, at the moment, there's obviously servers that are split into 50-man, 50-person servers, bam, bam, bam. That's not the intention. It's the intention to have everyone on the same shard, the same realm, as it were. Thank you very much, Perry Helion. What about more? How about more finger guns? What do you want? What do people want finger guns? Is it because you haven't had like Ben Lesnick recently? Okay, is that good? Look at my crab. He's dead. I dropped him again. My third degree. I will repair him at some point. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for all the love and the bits and stuff. What was I talking about? I can't remember. Oh yeah, so check out this performance guide. 3.0 PTU is extremely performance hungry when it comes to RAM. There's memory leaks to fucking days and memory corruption. So setting a page file on an SSD really helps. Having those Optane drives and SSDs seems to really help as well. Oh no, I was talking about RAMs, wasn't I? Sorry, it's gone off the rails. Yeah, so everyone on the same RAM is the idea in the future. If they can't do that, then they'll think of another system. But it looks like they're probably going to be able to do that, or at least that's the plan. Where can I find the commands you guys type in chat in PTU to get FPS counter and stuff? It is in this one. It is actually this command. r_display info = 3, and it is on my custom CFG guide, which is there. But the links there to all of the performance guides that I've made. So there's a Windows 10 one, which is very, very good. It goes through all the Windows 10 settings and helps get rid of all the bloatware and bullshit. Should give you some better gaming performance in general. And then there's the performance for Star Citizen 1, which is it's always going to highlight stuff and bugs with the current builds and memory corruption and things, but also little tweaks you can do to have a better experience. Got any idea of when the Connie Taurus will be released into the verse? So it's the stripped down version of the Constellation, so they are working on the other variants, as we know. Early 2018? You can see I pulled that out of my ass, but that's probably quite an accurate timeline for it. For large ships such as the Vanguard Warden, I'd say it's a medium ship, even on the smaller side of medium, would you suggest gimbaled guns to help counter the small craft or fixed weapons to help deal more damage? I think it's an interesting question, because I play with fixed weapons when I do it, because its nose turret's always going to be fixed. It's got 4 guns there, pew, 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 pew. Although it was going to have you could have a gimbaled chain gun nose, which could be quite a large, or gimbaled large size 4 weapon on the nose, or the fixed size 5 weapon. I would probably go for fixed weapons and then just change the way you fly it, so it will be very jousty. If you use it as a jouster, it's probably pretty solid. It's just not particularly suited at taking out M50s, though you could use missiles. Will we see another concept for the holiday stream? Yep, probably that Tumbrel vehicle they promised before the end of the year. Possibly a tracked vehicle. That's what I'm hoping for. Gaming Log On, almost. Thanks for reminding me. Fuck off. Thank you very much for the donation. I will take your Danish krona crowns, whatever they're called. Danish crowns? Roast lamb or roast beef? Roast beef, done correctly. I do like both kind of roasts. I don't see any people talking about the Retaliator and its modular flexibility. Any thoughts? Is it worth getting? It depends exactly what you want, if it's worth getting or not. Caterpillar is going to be more modularly flexible. Probably less towards the combat torpedo side that the Retaliator is. I really like the Retaliator. I like the idea of the living spaces. I like the idea of some of its modules, and even as a drop ship module that it has. But I think that it's more suited to being that torpedo bomber. It's worth getting if you like that gameplay style. Are you going to get a Hammerhead? Yes. Sorry, I'm just moderator keeps on poking me. What? Oh, this message is held root. Why so many messages held for vous? Bear with me 1 second. I see. Yeah, do what you want. Do what you want. You got full authority. Knock yourselves out. You do more work than I do, mods, so thank you very much. I appreciate it. Do you think the Orion will be able to have a small ship land in... yeah, probably. It will probably be able to have at least like a little Argo or something land into it for supplies and stuff, to be able to supply you. That would be my expectation. Are the discount starter packs giftable? I don't know. I haven't bought one because I don't need one. Although there's not a limited number, is there? I expect they're giftable. They can't be bought with store credit, though. Can someone confirm whether they're giftable or not? Yeah, if I don't answer your question, feel free to resubmit it. Don't keep on spamming it, though. Wait a good amount of time. Do you think the Prospector will be a solid solo moneymaker? Yes, I do. I think it will be a good source of income. It's very efficient as well. Once you learn the mechanics behind it, you might have to spend some time finding the deposits in the first place. But once you have, with all the land mechanics and everything that they've been talking about in surveying, I think you'll be able to do quite a lot of cool stuff. What is your current favourite ship? The Reclaimer, because it's going to be a good moneymaker. It's massive. It's very alien. I love the idea of salvage mechanics. I love the idea of treasure hunting. It's got drones. It's got loads of mechanics that I love. It's got the big grindy room. I like industrial Drake type ships. And although it's Aegis, it looks Drake. It's kind of got that Drake vibe and aesthetic. That's probably my favourite. I mean, the Orion's up there. The Carrack's up there. Banner Merchantman's up there. The Hammerhead is now probably the top of my combat ships list. There's a lot of ships I love. Do you think what Star Citizen is doing now, land claim and modules, are microtransaction? I mean, it's more macro transaction. Yeah, sort of. I mean, they haven't added microtransactions into the game or anything. It's part of their funding. I don't like the fact they've sold land claims. I think it's stupid. I don't think they're worth anything, those land claims. I think they didn't realise... I mean, we were talking about land claims before they sold them and thinking, please don't sell land claims, because people get really fucking angry. It makes CIG look really greedy, even though it doesn't matter what they sell, it's all going into the funding of the game. They literally, all the money they make will go, before they've released a game anyway, will go into the game, into the game's development. It just looks greedy, and it's no more greedy or anything than any of the other ship sales or anything else they've done. And you don't have to buy it. You know what you're getting. Well, you sort of know what you're getting, at least as given the intention of what you're getting. It does change, but you're not buying like loot boxes or anything like that. It's not gambling in the same way. It does have that slight aspect of people will keep on buying because they're collectors or whatever, but it's no more microtransaction than what they were already doing. But you can't look past the fact that they are monetizing their game, and this is how it gets funded. How do it help you with comments on your YouTube videos? Do I need to feel bad for commenting on everything? No, no, no. Feel free to... If you want to comment on everything, do it. So, interactions, whether they're an upvote, a downvote, or a comment, add to the searchability and discoverability of a video. So, if you'll see people like, say, upvote if you liked it, downvote if you didn't, that's because they want your interaction. Your interaction is effectively money for them. Or at least more exposure for them. So it doesn't really matter if you do upvote or downvote either. Like, still an interaction. But yeah, more videos people comment on, the better. Though I would prefer it if it was relevant, or a question, or a suggestion, or whatever. Those are really helpful. Thoughts on the Hawk? I think it's cool. I think it's sort of semi-important to have another focused bounty hunter entry-level ship that's focusing on bounty hunting, whereas the Avenger Stalker, it's really the Avenger Titan, which has then got a bounty hunting module attached to it. There needs to be, realistically, really a small, medium, and large ship for most of the job roles that are focused on that job role. So a small salvager, medium salvager, large salvager, small bounty hunting, medium bounty hunting. Potentially not a large bounty hunting ship, so some of them can probably get away with small and medium. But do you think that server meshing and this all-in-one universe will be possible as intended? I think it's possible. We'll keep on covering it as we move forward, work out exactly what they're doing. If they don't do server meshing with literally everyone in the same server, they'll do it so that there's large amounts of players in each server, but it will still be technically all in the same shard with like a god AI making sure it gets all the data, and then if you're connected with anyone in a mission or bounty hunting or something, then they'll be on your server as well. So they'll explore other ways of doing it if server meshing doesn't work, but I am expecting server meshing to work as intended. Will I fit my Saber inside my Orion? I don't think so. I don't think so. What do you think about the sale of the Idris and Javelin? I expect them every holiday live stream and anniversary live stream. Cool. I mean, they only sell very small amounts. Hello, I'm trying to decide what to upgrade my Buccaneer to. I don't know if it's worth going for the Saber or the Hornet Wildfire or even the Gladiator. Any thoughts? I keep your Buccaneer. Keep your Buccaneer. Buccaneer's probably going to be pretty good. You're talking about sidestepping to another fighter that you think is going to be green on the other side. I keep your Buccaneer for now. If you don't know, it's really hard to choose between those. My preference there, out of all of them, is the Saber and then the Buccaneer. So, which ship is the Drake? Oh, bite marks. You're asking me a question I don't really want to answer. It's super important to have that entry-level salvage ship, but I think they'll have it whatever. I would very much like to see the Drake Scout Carrier. I want to see a civilian carrier ship, because, you know, I'm an idiot. But, so I voted for the Kraken myself. I encourage people to vote what they think is a good idea. I'm not a fan of the Corsair at all. Don't think it has a place in the verse, really. I understand why in lore it has a place in the verse, because Drake might want to make their own version of Constellation. But I think kind of the Caterpillar is almost that. If you can have the right modules, it's sort of like Caterpillar's a... Yeah. But... Oh, there's a helicopter going over my house now. This salvage ship is very important as well. Like, we need that in the game. Entry-level salvage. But I want this in the game the most. The scout carrier. Are you right, Nick? I saw you streaming the other day, actually. I was going to jump in, but you finished as I jumped in. What's the biggest ship I have? It will be a Javelin once I get 2,000 referrals, which I will get because I've got all those how to play Star Citizen guides, which seem to attract a load of new players in. I think the largest ship I now have is probably the Pioneer at the moment. Then, yeah, and not Pioneer, Orion. The largest ship I currently have is the Orion. When I get 2,000 referrals, and I think I'm on 1,800 at the moment, then I will have this bad boy, the Javelin. I'd rather have random loot crates to make money with rare skins and stuff. I mean, I'm okay if they ever want to do loot crates and stuff. I'm okay if they do that for Star Marine and Arena Commander, and I charge you UEC in game. I don't want them to have loot crates with real money. I mean, if they did loot crates for real money with Star Marine and Arena Commander, probably wouldn't be that happy. But as long as they don't do it for Star Citizen, well, they wouldn't do it for Star Citizen. Don't even bother thinking. Don't even know I'm entertaining that question. What do you think about the whole Star Citizen offline gameplay we see on YouTube? I'm kind of quite meh about that. It's sort of against their terms of service. I doubt they're going to ban anyone for it. It's against their terms of service though, so there's no way around that. We're allowed to make videos effectively about Star Citizen at the discretion of CIG and Foundry 42. They own the rights to your videos, basically. So at any time they can pull that. So they can go no, and they can put a strike. They can put a takedown notice if they wanted to. So honest people, if they're making videos in offline mode with that in mind, just be aware. Just be aware that they can take down your video if they want to. I'm personally, I'm pretty much for freedom of videos and offline mode and stuff. I'd like there to be no NDA with Eva Carty stuff. I don't see the point. I'd like there not to be. Well, I think that it needs to be an Eva Carty, just for like order and efficiency. But I'd like to see that go out to the first wave PTUs a lot sooner. Yeah, I'm not against offline mode. Although I have not actually used it myself. A couple of people were saying, "How do you get such good frames? It must be offline mode." Nope, I have to keep on bringing up chat to prove it. I think Star Citizen uses as much RAM as you have. That's sort of true. Because of the memory leaks and memory corruption. That's why you want to set up a single page file on an SSD if possible, and let Windows manage it, and try and have like 20 gigs free. Looking, but can't find it anywhere quickly. Do we have a date for holiday livestream? I don't, but I'm expecting, let's work it out now actually, either Friday the 15th or Friday the 22nd would be my expectation. I bought a 315p as part of the original sale as an exploration ship. All three XXs seem to be more homogeneous now. Is there a better similar ship with an exploration focus? The 300 series are getting a rework, so I would probably wait and see. With the sale on, it's hard to wait and see, isn't it? For a single-seater exploration ship, you either want the 315p or the Terrapin. Terrapin is significantly more expensive. I would suggest you hold on to your 315p and see the rework and go, oh, they're quite cool. It's up to you. Are you going to get a Hammerhead? Yes. I want one, but it would be my only ship. Do you think that's going to be a good idea? Oh. Oh. Do you not have a starter package ship either? Like, do you not have like a Mustang Alpha? So, I think you potentially could run it as your only ship. But it's just from day one, having it as your only ship. So as if it comes with laser weaponry as standard, you can get a couple of your mates to come and play with you at the first day, it would be fine. You could take it in, because on day one, you probably aren't going to have any money to be able to pay NPCs. You're not going to have money for AI modules for the ship. So you're going to need, if you've got a couple of friends that can help run it, or 5 other friends that can help run it with you, then yeah, I think it would be okay as your only choice, because you could grind up money pretty quickly. How often do you need to vaccinate yourself against the cringe? If you watch CIG YouTube channel every week. It's not, so it's only occasionally you get major cringe. A lot of, oh actually no, with the ATVs, with the fucking singing at the end of them. For hammerheads and no, a hawk in a pear tree, isn't it? That is pretty cringy. I've had to, maybe that's why I've had migraines, because I haven't been vaccinating myself from cringe. Oh, Cameron's beautiful little face. And pirates kind of have a mobile base anyway. There's lots of other potential ships they could use as a mobile base, including javelins and other capital ships. But yes, I do agree that the Kraken Scout Carrier is a cool idea. Do you think there will be a 7-year anniversary? Next year will be the 6th year. Yeah, there'll be a 7th year anniversary, but I'm just not sure. I think we'll be... Yeah, I think there'll be a 7th year anniversary, and then I think we'll have... That will probably be the last major ship sale anniversary type thing before the game's released. That's my hope. Can I discuss my latest thoughts on the Endeavour? I haven't had that many latest thoughts on it, because they haven't really told us much more about it. Its front's going to detach. It's quite a big ship. It's going to be like major science gameplay with some exploration gameplay, and like science and exploration tied together. But you're going to be able to have this center module. You can fill it up with lots of different modules. So you can have farms, you can have labs, you can have people carrier type things. You can have a big radar-y dish for exploring and detecting random anomalies. You can have data crunching stuff. You can have an overclocking particle thingamajig, so you can literally overclock weapons and gear for resale. You can have it set up as a hospital ship, so it's like probably a big mobile respawn point which people have to pay to use. You can have a hangar on it. It's got a lot of potential. The ship, it's fucking cool. But we don't know too much about it because we don't know much about the science stuff. It is one of my favourite ships. Do you think there's a reason why they did not sell the Retaliator and Vanguard modules in the sale? So the reason they didn't sell the Vanguard modules is because they're trying to move away from the Battlefield upgrade kits. They literally said that, yes, you'll be able to swap out the individual modules on them, but we didn't really want this functionality, and we kind of have to do it now, so we made the ships more modular. So they're trying to sell them as variants at the moment. That's why they didn't sell the Battlefield upgrade kits or anything like that. Yeah, they did sell the Endeavour ones. They didn't sell the Retaliator ones, did they? Which was odd. I don't know why they didn't sell the Retaliator ones. How much do I think the Crucible will grow now? Oh, the Crucible... Well, it was made with their new metrics, so it might not grow much at all. They already knew that they wanted a Hornet inside there. You might get a few meters more on it. What's currently happening with the Observer test? At some point, we will find out who the 7 people are that win Hawks. Expected by the 11th to find out who. Can we load ships with explosive ordnance and then suicide them into things? Potentially. Though I think that maybe missiles and torpedoes are better as explosive ordnance to be fired into things. Can you put a link to the ship size chart in the chat board? Yes. I will put all 3 of them in there, actually. That's some cool pictures. That's the white one, and that's the stages of production one. YTO and Sebman, fucking great work with these, like always. I'm starting a second account. What's your referral code? There should be links below to referral type stuff, which will probably put it on my referral randomizer, which goes to me, my friends, and my Patreons. Thank you very much, Von Doom. Oh, but use any old ones. It's all good. How will you make traversal? We put it into your own account. Put your referral code into your own account, Von Doom. How will they make traversal important enough so that ships are geared to longer range actually gain something? That's a good question. Obviously, being more efficient and being able to travel longer with quantum fuel will make your journey times shorter over the longer distances, cheaper, and that sort of stuff. I mean, it's going to be a semi-living, breathing economy, but CIG do have a lot of control over it. So I suspect there's going to be places where you'll be able to double your profit on iron and stuff, but the further it is away from those iron worlds, technically the more risky it is, but also the more valuable income you could make. I mean, it's going to be important to travel to make more money, but I'm not sure exactly how it's going to be balanced yet, other than that, like, there'll be certain planets which are rich in iron, other planets that are not. Those planets that are not will want the rich iron planets to give them iron. That is a trade route. That's how you make most of your money, from selling iron. I will not still be bored. Well, I'll still be BoredGamer, but I won't be as bored once I've played the game. Thanks. Do you think ships with LTI are going to be sold next year? Yes. I think they'll have another 8 to 10 concept sales next year. Lots of which will be ground vehicles, I expect. And probably the Titan suits as well. When will the Hawk Q&A come out? Oh, shit. That's a good point. By Wednesday, probably? Yeah, so that expect it by Wednesday. We don't know anything about the Caterpillar modules yet, though. Really. We know they were designing them a long time ago, but they haven't really brought them in. Expect 2018 to be the year of big ships coming out, including stuff like the Banny Merchantman and the Carrack and maybe the Endeavour at the end of the year, but like 890 Jump and Polaris and stuff. I'm expecting them all out in 2018, even the Hammerhead, actually. But also probably a fuck ton of modules and the functionality for a lot of those modules. Who won the Pioneer? Good question. So we can go to my thingamajig, my Reddit. That's the one. Words fail me. And we can see that this month's giveaway is for the Orion mining vessel and all the rules there. And we'll search for November. We'll find the November giveaway. And November's winner was Square of Fortune with his comments. I agree with you. It would be neat to get some extra goodies in 3. Blah, 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 blah. You can always find that on my Reddit, which I will try and maintain as best I can now. Fucking giving myself a fucking upvote, eh? I mean, why wouldn't you do that? Is there anything I can do to stop memory leaks as much? Set a page file on one of your drives, preferably an SSD, and have no page file on the rest of them, and set it to system managed. That is the best advice I can give you for coping with the memory leaks. We'll get more RAM in the short term. How do you set a crate down in your ship? Once you've got it in your hands, you hold F, you look down at the floor, and you should be able to see place come up in inner thought, and then still holding F, I believe, you then see an outline of the box, which you can then, when you let go, it will place. Or when you click, it will place. Is this fleet sensible? 600i, Explorer, Cutlass Black, Sabre, Hoplite, Hurricane, Nox, Herald, Argo. I mean, depends how many people you are. it's a lot of ships. It's a lot of ships. I mean, it covers a lot of gameplay. Yeah, it's some pretty cool gameplay though. You've got no ships that can carry, like the Sabre or everything. I'd consider... Consider a Carrack over the 600i. But that's just me. Do you think a RAM drive would be better than a page file? Potentially, but... Oh, you got some to spare. It's still going to try and use your RAM, though. It's memory corruption and memory leaks, so it's still going to fill up your RAM. 64, though, you shouldn't have as many problems. Try the RAM drive. I haven't actually tried RAM drives yet for 3.0. Do you think the Cutlass Black will have modules? Yes. I think the back is modular? I don't know. Potentially it will have modules in the future, anyway. Because they are hull variants, aren't they? The hull blue and stuff. Do you think that the experience of bad flight mechanics are bugs or server related? Some are bugs, some are server related. Well, some are bugs, some are features not working as intended. So thrusters overheating, engines overheating that would then turn off or get damaged or whatever. Item system 2.0's in. There was some power bugs and stuff like that. So there's also, in atmosphere especially, flight mechanics, some weird stuff that can happen, which is features not working as intended rather than a bug. We'll be able to use coupling procedures to get access to disabled ships instead of floating through open doors. For most of that, it's going to be floating through open doors. EVAing is the way that they kind of want to do ship boarding or ship-in-ship landing. Parallel is fairly big but has short range. How do you think they will address that for carrier-capable ships? I think there's going to be landing pads on ships and stuff like that that the Prowler can land on, so they can operate from them, rather than in them. Although it's not huge, the Prowler, so it's going to be able to land in some ships. I've got a Centurion. I've got Centurion, which is the RSI subscribe stuff. How do I get PTU? I will double check to make sure you've got PTU access in the hangar. So that you go into your My RSI, My Hangar, and settings, and then public test universe at the bottom. So let me actually show you this. So you want to go into My RSI, My Hangar, settings, and then public test universe at the bottom, and then copy your account over, and then you should have access to it. There is a where is it? On Spectrum. There is a way to download the PTU, which is here. So you want to go here to download the PTU and for any other instructions. It's worth checking in your RSI Hangar or downloading that to see if you actually have access to the PTU. Because sometimes you might not get the email. It might have been trapped in, junk or whatever. Right, so what else we got? What kind of synergy do you see between the Polaris and the Hammerhead? That's a good question as well. The Hammerhead obviously is a great screening ship, very defensive if it wants to be, if it's taking missiles and fighters and stuff, but then can go on the offensive once capital ships and stuff have been taken out, or any threats have been taken out to it. The Polaris, very boom and zoom, wants to get in close, drop its torpedoes and fuck off. Can obviously have a ship operating out of it as well. So, I mean, Polaris, Hammerhead, and a ship that can land in the Polaris, possibly like a Terrapin even, could be a really good mix. The Hammerhead does suffer from its detection abilities. Like, it has a medium radar rather than a large or capital radar. I think the Polaris has a capital radar, actually, for detecting things. So the Polaris is going to be, like, detection and that sort of stuff. Should I buy the Cyclone or the Dragonfly? Oh. On a ground field with the Vist in the Cutlass Black. Dragonfly, then. These will still be available after the sale, yes. Though you won't be able to buy the Cyclone in the short term. You have to wait until it's closer to being drive ready. But the Dragonfly will be ready for will be re-released in 3.0. So you won't have to wait very long for that at all. Character customizations should still be coming in 3.0. It's a missing feature currently. Which game features do you want to see in game, and which ones are currently in that you don't like or want to get rid of? I mean, there's more. There needs to be loads more features. Nothing I want to get rid of at the moment. Possibly more tweaking to stuff. Lots of things need constant tweaking. I want to see missions and the star map a lot more ergonomic and user friendly. So I just used a tautology there. I mean the same fucking thing. So what I mean by that is that I want, when I take a mission, for it to be instantly quantum travelable to, like, or from my mission menu, that I can select travel to location, and it will mark location, and I can then travel to it. I want on the star map for it to show up in a different colour, very visibly. Thank you very much. Andavarian, Andavarian. Thank you very much for the sub. I don't know how words work. You just deal with it. So I can't remember what I was fucking talking about. Oh yeah, so missions, ergonomics. So yeah, so easy to travel to missions that I've taken. So I just want to go bum, 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 keep on doing missions. I want the text in game to be easier to read from the inner thought menu, because it's hell to read if there's other white text or anything bright on screen. There's loads of little bits and bobs that need to be sorted and fixed. The PTU represent the entire 3.0 or just some specialised for fixing? It's a incomplete 3.0 build. They are still finishing features. They are still testing stuff and that sort of stuff. So it is for testing. I have a Carrack in a small organisation. I want 1 or 2 support ships that can travel long distances. What would you recommend? Support ships, I mean, or escorts? If you go for escorts, I'd recommend something like Vanguards to go with the Carrack. Possibly a Starfarer, fuck it, why not? That's going to help everyone go further. Yes, the subscription should give you PTU access. Subscription and Concierge have it now. No, so the idea is that the Hammerhead is relatively fast. It's a patrol ship. It's a go in and get stuff done ship. Do you think the Buccaneer will fit in the Carrack? No. I noticed a lot of Aussies seem to be having trouble getting into the PTU. A lot of everyone's having problems getting into the PTU at the moment with the error 30,007 issues. Expect that to be fixed tomorrow. Carrack modules, yeah, I suspect we'll see some different Carrack modules in the future. Also, the ships are going to have reasonable modularity in the future. When Quantum was shown at CitCon, you said you were okay with the 8-minute quantum travel times. Yes, that's quite correct in certain situations, yeah. Even much longer ones for longer distance. Don't you think it might get too long when you're starting having to go to systems that like 30 plus minutes of travel? Well, it depends on what sort of gameplay you're trying to go for. If you're trying to do this massive cargo run over several hours to make lots of money, high risk, high reward, great. There needs to be lots of stuff for us to do in our ships while we're doing that, though. So, mobiGlas apps, management of the ships, potentials to get attacked. As long as it's fun, it's cool. 30 minutes of travel is fine, as long as there's stuff to do on the route. As long as it's part of the gameplay. I'm unsure about a CCU'd ship. Will the Crucible have the Scarab if it's CCU'd? With your CCU ships, you keep anything else in the package that's not the hull of the ship. So if you look at the package, if it lists anything separately other than the hull of the ship, you keep that. Including insurance. Hammerhead, Polaris, Kraken, and smaller support vessels will be fearsome ship composition to face fearsome ship composition to face against. I shiver at the thought. Thank you very much, Chatanka. Yes, there's going to be some great ship compositions for fleets and stuff that will beat much larger fleets and stuff that aren't comprised correctly of ships. A lot of player skill will be involved as well. That's the idea anyway. Board. Now the Aegis has a Hammerhead gunship, and the Freelancer Miss and Connie have gunship tag added to their role. What do you think will happen with the Aegis Redeemer, if anything? I think it will get a large rework, and it will have a redefined role. That might be dropship, that might be, it'll probably be more of a dropship. They say you can hire NPCs as escorts. Will you have to pay those NPCs by the hour or a flat rate? That's a good question. We don't 100% know. I suspect that you'll pay NPCs a fee, and then every so often you'll have to give them more of a fee. Like it'll be like every however many hours IRL, you'll pay them more. But I don't know. Yeah, Hammerhead is faster at size. That's the idea of it. It's a patrol ship. It's supposed to be catching up to like caterpillars and stuff. Is the Avenger Stalker going to be viable in 3.0? Since it only got human... Oh, that is a good point. I would say I prefer the Avenger Titan in 3.0. It's not going to be viable for carrying cargo, the Stalker, in 3.0. Was the performance of the PTU enough to have a playable experience? Yes, up until this latest AE patch, yes it was. This one has problems with people actually getting in the game, and terrible spiking, like 4 seconds of pauses, which is annoying. A lot of Hammerhead artworks show the turrets locked in a forward-facing direction. Do you think the front turrets could be operated from the cockpit like gimbals? I think that they will be sleevable, so they're all able to fire forward from the cockpit, potentially. I don't think you'll be able to operate them like gimbals, although I would like that functionality. But you'll be able to put IA modules in them, blades, so they can operate totally automated, or get NPCs in them. It seems like being shot at doesn't stop a quantum travel jump. From what I've seen anyways, is this the case? They are, yeah, at the moment that's true. They are fiddling around with exactly how they want quantum disruption to work, and how they want fights to work, and how they want you to be able to escape or not escape. So expect that to change drastically in the next couple of patches. They're also trying to get quantum disruption in 3.0 for NPCs to do it to players. Love your face. Where's the Hammerhead in the pipeline? So they actually, obviously it's just recently gone on concept, but they had done a load of the external work already. It's in its white box at the moment, I believe, but they've done a lot of the other work for it. It's a while away. It's a while away. Yeah, I've heard lots about the CPU spikes and throttling. Lots of people are getting it. There's lots of memory leak issues. Lots of issues with the PTU. Do you think we'll get an Origin JumpWorks cargo ship? No. Doesn't make sense for their brand. I know you're getting bored. Burning up the routes. Thanks. Thanks, mate. Fuck you. Will the Hawk be able to purchase after the sale finishes? Up until the 11th of December it will be available, and then during other sales, and then when it's flyable. No, I have not found a workaround for the CPU spikes in the latest build. I will put them up on those performance guides and stuff if I do find one. Where's the Hammerhead in the pipeline? Yeah, we've talked about that. Sport. I want to get into the industry side of the game. You said your org will be focusing on gameplay too. How can I join your org? I will talk about my org when we get a live 3.0 build. It's called Nomad Black. I will start operating it. It's going to be lawful neutral. we are going to be doing a mixture of all gameplay, but focusing mostly on industry, economy, some ship capture type stuff. We're not massively anti-pirates, but we are or anti-outlaw, but we're not going to be outlaws or pirates ourselves. We are going to be relatively not dickish. That's the idea of it anyway. It's going to be run like a Roman forum, so although it's going to be me and a couple of other people I know in charge of implementing things, we're not 100% in charge. It's going to be everyone in the org has a vote, and majority votes will win when we pass anything. And we do it like with the censor and stuff, so certain people can pass motions at certain times and stuff like that. So it's going to be heavily based for filming and for... it's not heavy roleplay or anything, but it's going to have that light roleplay element and light extra game element. But we'll talk about that in the future. Do I not... I need to update my Twitch specs on with my PC, because I do have an 8700K. I didn't realise it wasn't up there. When do you expect them to finish the Aegis Reclaimer, since it's currently in production? Oh, quite soon, actually. Early 2018. It doesn't actually need that much more work. Oh, do I... Okay. You can apply now, but there's going to be changes and stuff done to it. And I probably won't read these for a couple of weeks. I'll read them around Christmas time. How's that? How do I even find my fucking org? Is it in Hangar? Organizations. Nomad Black. There you go. That's my org. Have a look. It's going to get some changes on it. Light roleplay, focusing on industry, economy, surveying, land, focusing mainly on non-combat stuff, but obviously we're going to do all forms of gameplay. There will be fleet battles, we've got a fucking huge fleet and that sort of stuff as well. But it is going to be for recording, so I want people to be aware of that. And it's not going to be for everyone. Requesting a video where you go through the new equipping and how it works in 3.0, especially for the Hornets. When that's actually fully working, I'll do that, yeah. There's lots of how-tos and how it works guides I will do once we are either just before a live build or at a live build. So I'm not going to do a quick start and start here, start at some guide until we have a live build, things like that. And some of those other mechanics, they're not fully in yet. Question, can you customize your character in 3.0? You will be able to, it's not in at the moment. It's one of the missing features. Do you think I should... Well, you can customize your armor and your equipment a lot now. But you can't customize your face yet. You will be able to. That's the intention anyway. Do you think I should mount my Banu Defender LTI for Endeavour modules with 60-month insurance? If you've got Endeavour, but no modules for it, I would consider that, personally. That's me. If I buy a $12 subscription now from RSI, will I get into the PTU now? I believe so, yes. It is available to people that have subscriptions. If you didn't, for some reason, I would potentially contact customer support and say, give me all my fucking money back, fuck you. What is the smallest ship that the Urza rover will fit inside? Constellation. The reason that the Urza rover, the turret comes down and the wheels go up, is because they had to make it fit for the Constellation. How do you think ship insurance will be on average with ships purchased in game? Don't know yet. That's one of the things they're going to be balancing a lot over the next few months.
Hi Bored, just want to say that I really enjoy your content. Keep up the good work. One question, when do you think we will see the Banu Merchantman in game?
Thank you very much, Ronan Shaw, for the donation. Very much appreciated. Banu Merchantman in game, I'm genuinely expecting it to be third quarter of 2018. They're going to need to flesh out the Banu race. We should have the Defender before that. The Merchantman is a big ship, but I do expect we'll see it flyable in 2018. Some people will be like, what? We only saw grey and white box stuff. Yeah, I think that they've got the ship pipeline down now. As soon as they start putting assets into the Banu race now, they'll be able to flesh out that ship pretty quick. So, a few months. It'll probably take them when they start doing it. They'll probably start second quarter 2018 sort of thing. In earnest, anyway. like actually building the ship out properly. Thank you very much for the donation, though. Much appreciated. Thoughts on the 325A ship? It was the ship I learnt the game in. It's one of my favourite ships, actually. I just don't talk about it much anymore because it's not that good at the moment. Should I change? Seems forgotten, never mentioned from an old pledge. The 300 series are getting a rework, and I think you're going to be very happy with the 325A. If you're having to think about changing it, just keep it, hold on to it for a while longer. Just see what the rework's like for you. Do you think I can effectively run my Endeavour and my Orion with an NPC-only crew? Yes. It might not be as efficient as having clever players running it, but you can certainly run it. And then you can possibly get some friends and some people you want to run the Endeavour with later. I very much suggest that people that are having these issues with, oh, I don't have any friends to play with, or I don't have enough people that want to crew my 100 crew ship, join an org. Find an org that suits your needs and join them. They're there for manpower, they're there for help, they're there for assistance and for safety. And I think you'll have a much better Star Citizen experience with the correct org. And shop around, have a look, talk to lots of orgs. What's the best starter ship and why? The best starter ship out of the current Aurora and Mustang Alpha, for me, is the Mustang Alpha by far. It has cargo and everything is standard still. It's faster than the Aurora. It's got a little turret on the nose, whereas the Aurora does not. It just has fixed weapons. It doesn't have the missiles that the Aurora has, and it's not as tanky as the Aurora, but it's faster, and I just like it for that. If we have cheaper NPCs as escorts, are we more likely to catch something? Wow. Is that what? Oh, it's a sexy thing. Do you think the Retaliator will get rework? I think that the Retaliator will get, as with a lot of ships, light updates, which will be materials, light remodeling and stuff like that, but nothing akin to a major rework. Can you kill an NPC? You will be able to, yes. NPCs walking around. You can kill NPC ships and NPCs in the verse in 3.0 now. You can do it in 2.6.3. If you were talking about NPCs on the ground, you will be able to, just not in 3.0. I think they probably actually have life and you probably can kill them. I haven't tried ramming them with a bike or anything, or detonating a ship next to them, but I will. Will the Vanguard be getting a buff soon? They'll be getting balance stuff to them. They've had their cockpits redone and things. So yes, they'll be balanced to their intention, which are that they are going to be strong, heavy fighters and long range. When patch 3.0 goes live, will certain ships be available for purchase with in-game credits? No, 3.1 is when we're going to be able to buy ships with in-game credits. Do you think the Banu merchant, you will be able to buy systems and weapons and armour and gear and lots of stuff for your ships and your character in 3.0? How do you think the Banu merchantman market will work for buying and selling for random people? I don't know. I suspect it will be similar to the way we have shops and stuff in 3.0, a little bit more fleshed out, but I don't entirely know. I'm hoping you can lease space to other people and NPCs and stuff on your Banu merchantman, so they can make money and you make money through that. Are CIG planning on implementing a ship docking system so that people don't have to crash the dragonflies into the holds? Yeah, it's sort of in. It just doesn't work as intended. So go in, land. It'll probably be able to auto land from a longer distance as well inside ships eventually. Do you think the new Mustang and Anvil Hawk will fit in the cargo hold of the Reclaimer when folded up? Don't know until the ship's fully built out. Interesting though. Potentially. It was one of the giveaway from November. We display the information of the winners. I display it on my Reddit. If you go to Reddit, there, and search for November, you'll be able to see that it was Square of Fortune, I think his name was. What is the best starter ship, and why? The Mustang Alpha. Fuck you. That's why. Will the tumbrel fit inside the Cutlass Black? I don't think so, no. It's just those bikes that will fit in at the moment. How do you like the Reliant and variants? I am not a fan of the Reliant or its variants currently, although I probably will get a Mako news van. Can someone link me this week's burn down? Well, there was no ATV burn down that I saw, anyway. But there is that. There's that schedule report and the monthly report. How are we going to dock and land at big stations? On the landing pads. And in hangars. Can you use all the ships in the PTU or just the ones you bought? At the moment, I have access to all of the ships in the PTU. And some waves of PTU get access to all the ships, some it's just the ones you own in your account, and that's to test different things. Sometimes it's to test persistence of your account, sometimes it's to test persistence of ships and logins and logouts, some of it's to test combat and core combat and different ships, so they give you access to different things at different times. Can you buy ships in-game with in-game credits? No, not until 3.1. Sorry, I just answered that like 3 times. Can't wait until optimization. I know, right? The last patch was a lot more optimized than this one, it seems, actually. This video footage is from Zenthor, who makes very, very good 4K videos of Star Citizen. Him and, I can't say his name at the moment, Narayanya, are 2 Star Citizen gems I would very much recommend checking their channels out. Actually, I will bring them up on the screen, rather than just giving them just a shout out. Zenthor. Zenthor makes reshade packs and stuff for games like Star Citizen. Not Xanthor, Zenthor. Zenthor's eye. Check Zenthor out. Very pretty videos. And he makes reshade packs and cool screenshots and lots of cool stuff. And there's Star Citizen? Let's see if I can find this other guy. Here he is. Alexander Belov. So, this guy makes very cool edited videos of... well, let me bring one up for you. Mutix, I don't know if the... Actually, the music's probably from... I don't know. Let's put Pedro. So, this dude makes really cool comparison videos, trailers, very good at editing as well. So one of the skills that I don't really have is the ability to grind footage and the ability to edit footage in a very good way, like this sort of stuff. I probably would expand my team at some point. I'm good with the knowledge. I'm good with the scripting. Yeah, there's some very cool comparisons. But check those guys out because they're fucking great. Does Noobifier run an org? Yes, enemy contact, I believe is his org. Will people's ship insurance be invalid if you use it for criminal activities? Good question. We're not entirely sure exactly how criminality will affect insurance and that sort of stuff in the verse. There will be ways of criminals and outlaws having insurance, though. It's not going to totally invalidate it. It's not going to fuck up your entire fleet. But we'll have to wait and see exactly how they flesh that out. How will ships like the Javelin and fully laden Hull E's that can't land dock at stations? They will require small shuttles to transport stuff between them. They will probably at lots of stations be able to dock onto the sides of them. So stuff like Port Olisar and things, they were intended to have Idrises and large ships docking to the sides of them. Other ones might just have to run shuttles between them. Retaliator has tons of turrets, but if you play alone, are you dead bait with that ship? I mean, you can get NPCs to crew your ship. You can have AI modules and automate those turrets, and you'll probably be able to slave them. So not necessarily dead bait, but I wouldn't recommend flying certain ships, like the Retaliator, entirely alone. Do you expect CIG to give a release date / time frame for Squadron 42 during the holiday livestream? Potentially. Possibly a rough one. We will see the roadmap for its completion. I can't speculate whether we'll actually say a full timeline or this is when we're going to release it. That said, potentially? The way I answered that was very politician-like. What new ships will be coming in 3.0? We've got the Nox, we've got the Dragonfly, we've got the Prospector, the Constellation Aquila, the Urza Rover, the Cutlass rework, Cutlass Black rework anyway, the Aurora rework, the Gladius rework. Is there any other ships that are coming in 3.0? Potentially you could have the Razor, potentially you could have some surprise ships. The Saber Raven. The crash... So I'm going to say where the crash javelin is. There are guides for it, which you can find on Reddit and stuff. It's on Daymar, and it's in this big valley, which isn't super hard to find, although it would be quite hard to find if you didn't know where it was. Can you buy ships in 3.0? No. Any upcoming ships that would fit into a cutty? The Nox should, well, it does. Nox does, the Dragonfly does. Is there a way to add Squadron 42 to the anniversary Mustang game package? Yes, you should be able to do it from extras or from the checkout or something. You can do it. No, the Caracan or Reclaimer won't be in 3.0. No. Which one would you buy, the P-52 Merlin or the Aurora ES, as a cheap second ship next to a Mustang? The P-52 Merlin. Oh, I wouldn't get either. You won't be able to transport that P-52 Merlin anywhere. And the Aurora ES just seems like a downgrade from the Mustang to me. I'd consider upgrading your Mustang to an Avenger Titan in that situation. Yeah, criminal insurance will have advantages and disadvantages. They are going to be fleshing out the insurance mechanics for and reputation system stuff in the future. Can you steal ships and keep them? Yes. It doesn't work properly in the PT at the moment, but in 3.0 it will work. You can steal someone else's ship and keep it. Well, obviously that stuff will be wiped from time to time, and if you lose it, once you've stolen it, you'll lose it. The person that's had the ship stolen can claim them back, but they won't despawn the original. Given the examples of stream sniping we've seen during the PTE so far, do you think it will be harder to be a streamer and be in an org if your org suffers as a result of it? I would suggest that people that are worried, like I've done, have multiple accounts and will use some for actually playing Star Citizen, which will just be for friends, and some that they use for streaming and stuff. But you're not going to, when the full game comes out, you're not going to see stream sniping much in lawful areas. You're only going to see it in, like, and then you just increase your delay. Stream sniping is going to happen. If you're doing high risk, high reward stuff, and you've got a short delay, then players are going to try and find out where you are. That are pirates and stuff are going to try and use that information against you. Of course they fucking are. I would. I'm not going to be a dick to streamers or anything, but if they're like, oh, he's got a Orion in dangerous space near where I am, and he's got no protection, and he's broadcasting his location, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to steal his shit. Well, that's what I think as a pirate anyway. When will the cargo economy be implemented? I mean, it's sort of in the PTU at the moment. It's not a full economy by any means. Do we get ArcCorp in 3.1? That's the hope. I'm not sure. Probably 3.2. What's your opinion on hangar size for the Carrack? I don't know yet. We need to wait until it's actually fully fleshed out. They don't want it to be. They don't want every ship to be like this big carrier ship or anything. The Carrack's supposed to be efficient for what it is. I like the idea of having a Pisces, or the Poseidon, whatever the fuck the Scout snub's going to be called. Actually, I would like a Terrapin be able to go inside it. That would be actually pretty cool. Will the Buck fit into the Carrack? I don't think so, no. We won't know that sort of stuff until it is fully fleshed out. So they might change little bits of it. What ships would you recommend buying during the anniversary sale? I can't recommend ships specifically. If you don't have a game package, get yourself a Mustang Alpha game package. If you're falling in love with any of the ships, then get them. You're going to be able to buy ships in 3.1, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. If you're in love with a ship, think about buying it. If I buy a Grey Cat from the Voyage Direct store, will I be able to use it in 3.0? Yes. What's your opinion on the 3 Drake ships proposed? Which one do you think would be best for the game? I think, with the 3 Drake ships proposed, that we need an entry-level salvage ship, but we'll get one anyway. And that I want the Drake Scout Carrier. So I have voted myself for the Kraken Drake Scout Carrier, but I encourage everyone to go here and vote for whatever the fuck they want. Have a look. When is the holiday live stream? I would expect, we don't know, but I expect it to be on the 15th or the 22nd of December. I love the fact the Orion's increased in size. I recommend anyone with spare store credit to buy upgrades from the Caterpillar to the Orion. And I think they'll be worth more money in the future. Or if you wanted to jump between that and get a more expensive ship, you'd be able to in the future. Hammerhead plus Polaris, or Hammerhead and 890 jump, or Polaris and 890. For versatility. For versatility, I would go for the Hammerhead and the 890. An interesting question, though. I'd prefer, personally... oh my god, that's a really hard question, actually. But yeah, Hammerhead and 890. My suggestion. What is the cargo size of the Reclaimer? I don't actually know, but it's going to have a reasonable amount. And I believe it has a lift and ramp to go into. Well, it's a lift or a ramp, whatever. I suspect there'll be size room for some sort of vehicle in there. Don't know until it's fully fleshed out, though. Do you think CIG... do you have to lay eyes on a derelict, or will your radar pick them up? Your radar should pick them up. I think that's the intention. You'll be able to scan them down. Do you think CIG will release flight-ready ships before next quarter date? No. Now they've said they're going to move on to quarterly stuff. I suspect they potentially could with the Delta batch and everything. But I suspect it's more likely to be end of March, end of April sort of stuff. And then every 3 months. I do expect the Hammerhead to be out before the Polaris. Potentially. It's easier to make than the Polaris, isn't it? It'll be out. They'll both be out in 2018, almost certainly. How many bugs are remaining before 3.0 can go to PTU? 3.0 is in PTU. It's not on the schedule anymore. It is in PTU. It's going into different waves, and we don't really know the amount of bugs at the moment because they're constantly reiterating on it. Expect it to be out to more people next week and the week after, and should be into everyone's hands by Christmas. What will prevent organisations stealing off ships? E.g., I could accept a £50 IRL payment and set up a heist to claim it back. I don't know what you mean. What, like real life fraud? Organised stealing of ships. I don't know what you mean. People will steal ships in game. Customer support will prevent fraud. What is the current average Alpha UEC earning per hour per play? They're actually messing around with that stuff at the moment. They're trying to balance that and work it out. I don't actually have those figures, but they are literally doing testing with surveys, working out progression, prices of stuff, rewards for missions, how much money you're making per hour. Do you think the Endeavour will get a size increase? Yes, potentially. It's probably not a huge one. Depends on how big those modules are that they decided to build. So yeah, potentially it could get one. Yes, you were about to use a Grey Cat in 3.0. Is there a... Oh. Have they confirmed the mechanic of being able lets friends use your ship? Oh! Yeah, you should be able to share ships and stuff in the future. That's not going to be in for a while, though. Not in 3.0 anyway. Beds will... no, so amenities like bedrooms and bathrooms and stuff, showers and stuff, might be beneficial for your NPCs. And they might have a light benefit to you, like not stinking. Or NPCs not like going, ugh. But no, there's not going to be like massive advantages having them as far as I'm aware. Beds will actually serve as locking out though. Are you going to give us some gameplay today? I think the servers are fucked. I'll have a look in a second. VR will be supported by the game. I'm not sure about at release. Have they said when the newly improved scheduled web page with better details will be ready? So as soon as 3.0 goes live, we'll have the new schedule and new website up with Squadron 42. As soon as they've done the holiday live stream, we will have the Squadron 42 report up as well, which will show its route to completion. If you have several hangars, does the largest one take precedence? No. You can, if you've got several hangars, you can place them on different planets. and have them all. Why don't we come together as stakeholders and request that all 3 Jake ships instead of just... Oh, I see. They probably will give us... I suspect they will get both the Vulture and the Thingamajig and the Kraken, to be honest. When do you think player to player or org to org and player or organisation tractions... Oh, I don't know. Triton, I think it's important that we can buy ships or share ships and stuff like that together. I don't think we should be able to do it with real life money, just because I think that's too many cans of worms. It should all be in-game money. We should be able to share the ships with orgs soon, hopefully. 2018. Before the sale ends, should I invest in the Urza or the Catalyst? Cyclone, do you mean? If you've got a... What constellation do you have? Because you might have an Urza already. And I'd get the Urza if you had a Connie. But you might have an Urza already with your constellation. What do you think the Hammerhead for exploration? I don't think it's going to be that good an exploration ship. I'm not sure of its actual range as a ship. So how efficient it will be with quantum fuel and how big its tanks are. It's not got the best radar in the world. It's got a medium-sized radar. So it's not going to be the best for detecting things. It's not really an exploration ship. I have a starter pack with an Aurora. Can I melt the Aurora and make the Mustang Alpha? I believe so, yeah. Just check to see how much, how many store credits it's worth when you click on the melt button. To double check. Do you think it's a Sunday patch? Nope. Monday. Oh, vids. Are you going to take a Lamas class to learn how to breathe when... No. How do I breathe? What? Fuck you. I've got a cold, maybe. Fuck you. What loaner ships do you get for the Hurricane? Good question. I don't fucking know. Probably a Hornet at the moment. Are different sizes of jump points, small, medium and large, still planned? I believe so. Don't have many more information on it at the moment, though. How do you think space battles will occur? By CIG themselves or through contract? I don't know. They'll just happen. There'll be big missions where there's things happening. There'll be NPCs that start pushing in areas. There'll be org battles. There'll be lots of stuff that just happens. Some of it will be the God AI pushing areas with attacks and things, and having more and more missions in an area. It will sort of naturally occur due to the systems they put in place. Is it PTU Wave 3? Everyone who's played a PTU build? Don't know. I think that's Wave 4. Wave 5 is everyone. Wave 3 is a lot of people. Wave 4, yeah. We are not going to get 3.1 by the end of December. No. 3.0, however we will. What time does the anniversary sale end on the 4th? I don't know. How will CIG prevent players from duplicating a friend's lifetime insurance ships by stealing them and insuring them afterwards? You shouldn't be able to insure a ship that's stolen, if you see what I mean. Because it is literally... you might be able to steal them and then grind them up, or steal them and take them to an outlaw area and then put some time and investment in getting them so that they have like a different ID, and then potentially having them in outlaw space. Maybe. They're still figuring out those mechanics. Cyclone Orion, it is the owner. I can't join the servers. Servers are down at the moment with the Star Citizen, for me anyway. The Cyclone Recon version is the only vehicle with a beacon placement that we know of. Has there been any details how beacon placement works? So we know how it's going to work basically in with ships. You literally fire like a missile out, which will like deploy a beacon, and that beacon will require maintenance every so often. It has a power supply. It will allow you to quantum travel there. It will show up on your map, and you can share that location with other people. Other people can hack it and use that location as well, and other people can destroy it. As an upgrade from the Mustang Alpha, I hardly hear any recommendations for the Mustang Beta or Delta. Are they simply not worthy upgrades compared to others? Yeah, I think that's basically it. There's they are getting rework though, so they might be a lot cooler once they've had their rework. I think there's just other ships that do their roles probably better. X1 fill in a cutlass. It should do. We don't know until it's fully flashed out, though, and built. Which loner ship comes with the Carrack? Caterpillar? At the moment, probably? Do you see a bounty hunt? It could be a Starfarer, though. Do you see bounty hunting features against NPCs being implemented soon-ish? We sort of do. Sort of have bounty hunting-ish missions. We don't have the disabling of targets and bringing them in. I suspect that's the first type of bounty hunting missions we'll have. Will be disable this guy and bring him back on your ship as cargo. Do you think a Hammerhead will provide protection, more protection than, say, 2 or 3 Vanguard for escorts? Oh! Probably more than 2 Vanguards, but probably not as many as 3. I don't really know. Don't know until these ships actually are in-game. But potentially, yeah, because the Hammerhead's fucking cool. It's a super anti-fighter as well. Ordered a Cutlass Red, but it seems you cannot load it into your hangar anymore. They're reworking the Cutlass Red. I didn't realise you couldn't load them into your hangar, though. Our missions right now, when you accept them, call out for an antagonist player. Oh, yeah, so when you accept certain missions, other missions are then created for players that are like outlaws and stuff as well to counter your mission. They don't have to accept them. You might not be fighting against another player. You might be though. Oh, $195 for a Terrapin is not a good deal though, is it? It's so expensive. I'd get it in game. Is there anything I can do to help my performance in 3.0? Yeah. I've done multiple guides. Here is links to my performance guide, but also in that guide you can find links to my user.cfg guide and Windows 10 guide. User.cfgs do allow you to do some cool stuff, but it's not recommended really for the PTU because PTU's for testing and it can fuck around with their results. So I recommend only using user.cfgs if you want to see something quickly and then removing them. You know. But the performance guide and the Windows 10 guide should help a lot. How do you think space battles will occur? Oh, yeah, I already talked about that. I'm going to go for lunch in a second, so just be aware of that. What is your optimal amount of people for 3.0 live, assuming it's stable and has good performance? I mean, I'd like 128. I just got a 1080 Ti, and I've noticed that the plant service in 3.0 is not rendering on the same level of details I see in videos. Is this a GPU thing, or is it a build not rendering correctly? I don't know. I don't know. Might be the build? I had that issue when like the first PTU release I played. I had the issue with the ground not rendering properly. It was a bug. With so many ships with defined mission, make sure you've got the latest graphics drivers. 38833, I think is the latest ones, maybe. So many ships defined mission. I love the idea of the bandit merchantmen. I think they can be on the move for trading and stuff. I don't really know, to be honest. The merchantman should be relatively strong. It's going to be like a blockade runner as well as a ship. So it should be like an amazing cargo ship. With a reasonable amount of weaponry on it as well, because Banu don't really have that much in the way of dedicated military. They kind of have all of their ships in there that can kind of do military service if needed. Do you think the bounty system will be like on Star Citizen? How do you think? And they told us recently that you're going to be able to stun people and put them in your cargo hold and then take them to an office. It'll be pretty simple mechanics. They'll flesh out more and more of them so that it's more of an information game added to it. If I bought the Anniversary Mustang package, is there any way to add Squadron 42 to it? You should be able to, yes. You should be able to do it either through extras or through the just before you buy. Yeah, Nick, if you go to that performance guide, there is how to do page files as well on there. When you started streaming / YouTube, did you stay disciplined and consistent in the early days? No. I started to gain YouTube traction when I started to make videos every day, though. With streaming, I will stream at least once a week. I just haven't had time because the amount of videos I've had to make, and I've had a terrible fucking migraine. You need to be persistent and keep on trying, and you need to work out your niche. You need to work out how to advertise and all that sort of stuff. something you need to kind of learn. I watched a lot of other people's content as well. Yeah, your Andromeda should come with her. No, it doesn't, does it? Yeah, I'd grab a Urza for that. Buy new pillowcase. All the details are in there with these .cog stuff. So you've got the guide. Right. Does anyone want any other questions? I'm going to look to someone to host. Because I'm going to go to the toilet. I'm going to go eat. I might play some VR games. Hopefully Monday the Star Citizen servers should be fully fixed again. I suspect some people will be able to get on them. Who is actually playing? Fucking Twerk's on there now. Look at him. It's fucking... Let's go host some Twerkykins. Him and his sister. Him and his sister there. Go say hi to his sister for me. He's putting a good word, I heard. So, question, are your Mustang and Buccaneer giveaways still ongoing? Yes? No, I think they've been given out. Mustang and Buccaneer stuff's been given out a while ago. It was done like ages ago, 2 weeks ago. The Pioneer, you can find details of most of the stuff on the Reddit anyway. Redacted. Oh, this page cannot be found. Is it this one that can't be found? No, just make sure you got the full. Make sure you got the full thing. That should work. That should work fine. Yeah, that works fine. If you're caught by bounty hunter, do you have to wait for them to take you to advocacy before you can do anything? We don't 100% know. They want to make sure that there's gameplay for the peoples that get captured and stuff as well. So don't expect to be locked in a cell for like several hours. That's not the sort of thing that they'll want to do. One last question. Would you recommend to have both the Banner Merchantman and the Carrack, or only the Banner Merchantman and also some smaller ships? Totally up to you. I'd go for the Banner Merchantman and the Carrack myself. They haven't confirmed when modules for other ships will be implemented. I'm expecting a lot of that stuff, if not all of it, that they've talked about already to be in 2018, quite genuinely. Right. Give Twerk some love. Say hi to his sister for me. I love this man's... I think he's getting stressed at trying to log on to the 3.0 servers. Let's actually listen.
Like these moments right now, where your position's given away everywhere you go.
Oh shit! I think he's being sniped.
So famous.
I think he's being stream sniped. Give the man some love. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for all the donations. Thank you for all the subs. Fucking love you guys. I will try and stream again tomorrow because we actually get some gameplay on the go, which I think some people want to see, seeing that we've got 3.0. But I fucking love your faces. Talk to you soon. Yeah, hopefully public PTU by Christmas. So for everyone is what I'm expecting. Love you guys. Oh no, I got a fucking raid. Wait on a second. 1 second. Got to do the raid command, didn't I? Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's go to me. See my own face. So got to go to my /host. No, no, I didn't mean that. I meant /raid. /raid. Fuck. No! What have we done? I mean, /raid. Fuck. Oh. Thanks, guys. Thanks for dealing with how shit I am as a person. Very appreciated. Take care. I'll see you soon. Love your faces. Bye. Oh, shit.